Hi listeners, welcome to my channel. We have covered the overview of July and the Cancer season, the Cancer new moon and the volatility we will experience in August, and we have seen a preview of that volatility already in early part of July. Today we are going to go deeper into each sign to understand what needs to be initiated to support this volatility over the course of these 2 weeks and what oppositions we are about to face to our new starts and new efforts or beginnings in July. Understanding this is key to handling the volatility we would see peak in August. As I said, we cannot do Leo season in August without understanding the requisite support from Cancer season. Influence holds for 2 weeks and moon is now visible, making this the right time to plant new seeds in line with the specific themes we would discuss for your sign. You should check your rising sign followed by sun or moon sign. Rising is most accurate, though career perspective holds from sun sign as well. Moon sign gives more information on the influence on personal life. As this complements the Capricorn full moon, do check that if you haven't checked for your specific zodiac sign, because that will merge with the trends we discussed today for your sign. I publish all of my written content now on Substack. You can sign up for my free newsletter on it so you receive all the transit updates as a written transcript for you to reference anytime you want. I would like to thank my patrons for their support for the channel. If you would like to support my work, if you find it meaningful or helpful in any ways to you, at cost of a coffee a month, you can choose to become a patron to support the content of this channel. I will leave the link to both in details. My name is Charu, and now our channel's name is also Astrology with Charu. I hope you like the new name. I'm your host on this journey, so let's dig in. Hi Leo, this is the time right before your season, though we have already had some planets in your sign, especially planet of action Mars and also Venus now, which means that in the period which is normally reserved for rest and restoration, you might not only be working ahead but also facing some critical life decisions. The volatility of this month in August is very much focused on your sign, as the fixed T square that is happening, it's activating your angular houses, which is felt very powerfully by your sign as you deal with issues that require action in the here and now. So you kind of need to just right away take some very important life decision. These are issues that need to be dealt requiring your immediate attention. But since they involve fixed parts of your life, which like stability, which is your career, partnerships, commitments, and your identity, these are not easy decisions to take. They're both significant life events and changes, and we're yet to see full extent of this conflict, which will show up early in August with your surprising new moon of 8th of August. And you would also see it play out around the full moon of 24th of July, which will bring your partnerships and commitments to focus. Uranus is the apex of this fixed T square that is happening, which bodes sudden changes. Changes in your career house, changes in your external identity, changes in your title, your personal and professional title is demanding a change. And it's possible that the label or the identity you're wearing right now is not really you. It's like when we continue to wear clothes of when we were of a different size or age, when inside we have changed. There is a mismatch which shows up in a very high pressure situation. Saturn square Uranus theme of 2021 is already showing you a clear conflict between your commitment to others or your commitment to your traditional existing partnerships and contracts versus what you need for freedom and for doing what is more truthful to who you are. And that is a key theme of 2021, which we covered in your full year reading. I'll link that again below. But now with Mars and other personal planets coming into your sign, this is bringing this whole conflict to life. Because when planets come in your sign, we are urged to assert, we are urged to find our independent path. This, of course, conflicts with the obligations you have to others, the commitments we have made to our professional and personal partnerships. People demand a lot of you. But right now, with Saturn retrograde, you are also being urged to rearrange the terms of your partnerships and contracts because they have possibly outlived the person you are becoming. Maybe those contracts and those commitments and those agreements were made at a time when you were in a different phase of life. You have outgrown those terms. Uranus in your career house, being the apex, indicates a need to change your career, your title, the kind of project, and the kind of leadership style, and who's the authority in your life, both professional and personal. Uranus transit wants to free you from whatever is not authentic in your title, in your external life. It creates such physical dissonance. We vibrate at a frequency so different from norm that traditional and restrictive titles and careers and relationships, which are personal titles, they have very little chance to make it without any changes. But you are a fixed sign. You yourself sometimes block those changes. You oppose those changes. But this conflict, which is happening right now, and it will only grow in August, it just cannot be ignored anymore. As you sort of reach the peak of this dissonance, now all this is a theme of your season in August. Why are we talking about this right now in Cancer season when you're supposed to rest, recuperate, sit on a beach, or go to an ashram pondering the meaning of life? Why are we talking about it right now? Because I'm sorry, this year you cannot do it. There is no peace. There is just no sitting on the beach. There is no time to take a beat. There's just too much going on. Your season is like spread over 2 months this year instead of one, with so many things coming up. Because there's resistance to change. And when we resist the inevitability, it shows up so literally, sometimes in front of us with changes that seem out of our hands, but those changes are actually an external manifestation of the dissonance and the freedom we seek within us. You're meant to do groundbreaking things like Karl Marx or Michelangelo, who had Uranus in their career house, but you might be sticking to something way below your potential. You might be punching way below your level. And your inner self knows that. We think we can quash that feeling, we can quash that inner self, but your inner self knows better. And that inner conflict always shows up in external conflicts. We fight authorities, we fight co-workers, which is very much possible around 17th of July and then around 25th of July, especially for 25-degree Leo rising sun or moon, 2 degrees before or after, around 2 degrees before or after 25 degree of Leo. Or around 17th of August born, again 2 days before and after, because it's easier to blame the bad behavior. I'm sorry to say this, but it's easier to blame the bad behavior of an external party who seems to be the oppressor versus accepting that you have outlived the old structure of your life. Yet due to inertia or fear, you might still be there. You would be shown that possibly through a conflict, possibly at work or with a critic, with an enemy, on 17th and 25th of July, that an emotional pattern needs to be irrevocably left behind. A weakness needs to be irrevocably left behind because it's not serving you, it's not letting you move forward, it's not letting you remove the shackles. And these are permanent changes. These are irrevocable changes. It would show you where you're giving your power away when it comes to work, when it comes to your critics. And it will show also how giving that power away is impacting your health. There are permanent changes possible at work, or you could be prompted to make a significant change in your health habits. There will be a toxic release of something that's been hurting you. And this is a turning point where a wound is drained. Weeding out is the theme of 17th of July and 25th of July, but it will happen through a conflict. That's where Cancer season comes to help, to prepare you. No, it's not to go to ashram or beach when the conflict is happening, though it would have been a nice use of this time. But I think most of you would be too high strung to be able to do that because Mars is in your sign. You need, though, to be able to handle this conflict in the right frame of mind, you need a moment of peace. To collect yourself before 17th and before 25th. Cancer new moon, which happened on 10th of July, which will influence you for the next 2 weeks, it gives you an opportunity to find means and ways to handle this conflict and this volatility you're feeling. So you can productively handle the critics, you can productively handle the enemies, you can productively handle the work, politics, and opposition. It's also driven by this volatility. So it's possible that the dissonance you feel in your external life requires you to take a step back, requires you to go inward to find some answers or work behind the scene to create a solution. And when you take a beat, hidden talents and strengths are discovered. You might decide to take some time off because there's some things that need to be worked out solo, or you might just take a little bit of time away in a day to take a beat. And none of this is easy. Having both Saturn and Uranus in your critical houses of contracts, commitments, and career is a very tough transit, which you're having in 2021. But it's meant to bring long-term changes in both in your career and in your contracts, commitments, partnerships. Uranus is right now aspecting 14 degree of Leo. So Leo rising, sun or moon around 14 degree of Leo, 2 degrees before and after, or around 6th of August born Leo sun, 2 days before and after, would feel this volatility very strongly in their career, in their title, and with authorities wanting to change both personal and professional life during this time. It's like when you want to jump out of your skin because it's not you anymore. This is felt by all of you, and it's a very strong aspect. It's very triggered, and it will get further triggered as we approach August. It would not leave without changes. But these 2 weeks, you need to find a way of handling it. Whether it is through privacy, it's through spiritual pursuits, is because the sensitivity is mega high. Even for you, you're a fire sign, you can take intensity, but this is a little bit too much. So in personal matters, we need to take a beat. You can normally handle intensity well, but this is different. There are some tough decisions to be made before the full moon of 24th of July and your new moon on 8th of August. Mars is in your sign till 27th of July. Even if I ask you to take a beat, rest, sleep, it would be tough. But you need to take some moments in a day. And you will be energized to act, but things are not clear yet. You would need to keep matters still under the wrap, especially personal and creative. It's great time to focus on your intuition, develop a spiritual practice which support you, which will help you when those changes come and the volatility further hits you. Find alternative healing methods that help you ground you and make you feel more safe and at home within. Water would soothe, psychological work, charity, selfless acts behind the scene, artistic, creative, spiritual works will soothe. Karma with mother could come up to handle right now. Your intuition is very strong and on point. Honor it. A lot of focus might be on your personal life with Venus and Mars together in your sign right now, and they're creating a bit of spark there. Cancer new moon encourages private matters to be kept private. especially when they're very intimate. As much as you would want to shout from rooftops if something has started, especially for Leos around 20 degree of Leo, it's pretty lit. But moderation in impulsive matters, both financial and personal, are called for around 18th or 19th of July. 18th or 19th of July is when some compromise might be required. July is the last month this year when both Jupiter and Neptune are in your house of precedes of partnerships. They're both supporting a rebalancing, a rebirth process in how we handle partnerships. Though this will fully pan out only in 2022 when Jupiter comes here, and then it becomes easier for you to handle partnerships. But right now you have a brief moment of support here. I discussed this in your Neptune retrograde and Jupiter retrograde note, which I'll link below. But you must use this period, especially these supportive aspects that you're experiencing right now, to receive some important messages. Important messages on what has ended and what brings you peace. Hidden gems will be found there. You're given rare insight into subtle symbols, signs of life. As you're very sensitive right now, your perception is heightened. You see and feel things that others don't. And this can allow you to convert what might look like an ending or even crisis into an opportunity. Like an ending gives you financial means to pursue freedom or humanitarian goals of life. This also supports healing and intimacy. Jupiter and Neptune are activating 1 degree and 23 degree of Leo, who might feel this the most, which is around 24th of July or 6th of August born Leo Sun. Sometimes an ending or a crisis can come with hidden benefits, and that would especially be felt by 1 degree and 23 degree of Leo, which is around 24th of July or 6th of August born. At the very least, I would suggest to use this energy to listen to the messages coming to you intuitively, connect with your health and healing more, and see if we can create a calm in the depths while the water on the surface is going to be choppy, because a change is overdue and we will not be able to escape that change anymore. So that's what I have for you, Leo. Good luck for that, and I'll see you in your season. Happy birthday to Leos born in July, and I'll see you soon in your video. Thank you so much. Have a great month ahead.